With regard to climate change, our community was deeply involved in the run-up to and the negotiations at COP26 in Glasgow, Scotland. The outcome fell short of our expectations, and much work needs to be done as we continue to advocate on two levels. The first is to advocate for action to reduce CO2 emissions to a level that will keep global temperature rise below 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels. The second is to advocate for access to adequate and affordable resources to address the impact of climate change, which we are already experiencing. We are among the least of the offenders, but we bear the greatest burden of the impact of climate change. Now, as regards climate financing, the positions that have been advocated by all CARICOM countries, every single CARICOM country, if we listen to all of the heads that spoke in the leaders conference before, the leaders event before the commencement of COP26, spoke to the fact that our countries, every single one, needs to be understood to be bearing the heavier burden of climate change. The implication of that meaning that we must also be seeing a commensurate access, increased access to financing that flows as a result of the impact of climate change, whether it's loss and damage, whether it's mitigation, adaptation, all of that, but especially in more recent terms, loss and damage and adaptation. Those are increasing costs, and within the region, whether you're coastline or whether you're coastal or island, the impact is expected to be huge. Now, all of our countries have access to climate financing, whether it's through the Green Climate Fund, GEF funds, whatever funds are available. The reality is that there are a lot of funds that have been pledged that we have not really seen the countries who have pledged those funds to be making good on those pledges. And the other reality is that those countries that have pledged and are not making good on their pledges are the same emitters. And so we are caught in a situation in which we don't cause climate change, we bear the burden of climate change, and we don't have access to the funding that ought to be provided to help us to respond to the impact on our unified approach. We have an approach where all of us together individually have joined these various organizations. We also have a 5Cs that does the science and has been helping each of our countries. 5Cs, all of us are members of 5Cs. 5Cs is an integral part of the CARICOM institutional structure. And we also have CDB that is also able to access funding on behalf of the region, whether as a group of countries or as individual countries, access climate financing, such as those monies have been made available by the countries that have pledged them. But the large issue of the countries that pledge and don't deliver is something that we all uniformly advocate together for, because that's one of the hindrances to being able to address effectively the impact of climate change on all our countries.